Welcome everybody to Yoga. I invite everyone to find a comfortable seated position near the front of their mats. Close your eyes and find some connection between body and breath before we begin our flow today. Taking a long, deep inhale in through the nose, drawing that air all the way into the low belly. And a deep sigh out the mouth. Connect in with your musculature. Take 3 of those deep breaths. Deep inhale, deep sigh. Before you transition to a closed-lipped breath, wherein you'll bring that air down into the low belly just the same. But on that exhale, keep a little constriction through the back of the throat, pushing that air through the nose with intention. With this pattern of breath, you regulate the body. You invite presence. You begin to become more aware of your awareness and pay more attention to your intention. Notice the muscles of the face, that space between your eyebrows. Let any tension soften. Soften the eyelids, the jaw, the tongue. Pay attention to the neck. Let it melt. Let that melting sensation move down your clavicle and chest, into your armpits, down your left arm, like wax, each fingertip. And then down your right arm. As you exhale, imagine that warmth and relaxation spreading down. You are the candle. Yoga is the heat. Take that warmth down your belly. Let everything soften. This is not a place where you need to hold in, to worry about judgment. Let go, let be your body. And let that warmth now move down your tailbone. Down each leg. Each toe. Relax. On your next inhale, I invite you to take your arms out to your sides and then lift them up over the head, pulling the palms together and then down to your heart. Bow your chin to your chest. Think about in this moment what it is you feel you need. Maybe it's a feeling, maybe it's a thing, maybe it's a word, a vibe, an idea. Pull it into the center of your chest where your thumbs will touch. And then let it grow as we move through practice, this planted seed. Intention. Inhale, lift the hands up as one, keeping the eyes closed. And exhale, split the hands but spread the fingers, pulling the elbows down to your sides, goddess arms. And then inhale, lift. And exhale, roll the wrists down to your sides. You can open the eyelids as we roll up over the knees. Coming into an all fours position, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Find some fluidity and movement through the spine. You can move slow. You can move fast. This moment is just for you, a body expression. Getting in touch with any tension, moving in ways that feel good. And when you're ready, find stillness. Press into the hands, take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, tuck the tailbone, roll the spine towards the sky, and let the head, neck, and shoulders relax. Inhale, drop the belly as the heart and tailbone rise as one. Cow pose. And then exhale for cat pose. Blow all the air away. Inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. Move through 2 more times at your own pace. And then find neutral. We're going to shift our weight over to the left as you take that right foot back behind you. Square the hip into the mat so we're not opening. Keep the pinky toe rotated down into the earth. Press back through that foot. Deep inhale in. And as you exhale, pull the knee into the chest, rounding the back, and go ahead and move it back on your inhale. Exhale, knee in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee in. Inhale, extend. 2 more times to the beat of your own breath, making sure that that hip lands square. Last one. Hold it here. If you'd like to extend the opposite arm, if that's available to you, please do. Kicking that foot up towards the sky. You're going to reach back to the top of that foot, kick hand to foot, foot to hand. Exhale, release. Sink your tailbone onto your heels. Reach your fingertips out in front of you. Take a rest. Slowly roll back, 1 vertebrae at a time. Once again, taking the knees hip-width apart, the hands underneath the shoulders, pressing your heart out in front of you. And we're going to kick that left foot back. Square the hip down. Your belly button should be drawn into your spine, pressing with tension through that back foot with the pinky toe rotated down. Deep inhale in. And exhale, take that knee into the chest, round the back, and go ahead and press back. Exhale. Inhale. Press. Move through 3 more times to the beat of your own breath. Holding at the top. You can stay here with that glute contraction, or you can reach the opposite hand out in front of you. Finding stability, kick that foot towards the ceiling. Reach back to the top of the foot, kick hand to foot, foot to hand. And then go ahead And settle down into a wide child's pose, knees out, big toes together. Extending the fingertips out in front of you. Release the forehead to the earth. Give it a little rock back and forth. You should feel a stretch through your armpits. If it's not available to get the tailbone and heels connected, that's okay. Just keep the intention there. Slowly, we roll one vertebrae at a time back to our all fours position. Hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And then walk the hands one hand length in front of you, flipping the toes into the mat. And then lifting the knees, pressing the heart back towards the upper thighs. Begin to pedal out the feet here in your first down dog of class. Releasing one heel as you bend the opposite knee. Keeping that intention in the front body of stability and strength. Pressing your heart back towards your upper thighs. Find pause. Little micro bend in the knees. And then allow the heels to drop closer to the mat, following gravity's lead. Come up onto the tiptoes now. Bend the knees deep and then hop or step to the front of your mat, feet together in Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, heart reaches forward. Exhale, release. Inhale, circle sweep all the way up. Exhale, cactus the hands, open the heart. Lift up. And exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back to a plank. And then release the knees, the tops of the feet. Tilt the pelvis towards your nose. Keep the elbows tight to the body. Exhale all the way down, belly to earth. Release weight from the hands. Peel the shoulders back. Inhale, baby cobra. Hover the hands if you can. And exhale, melt forward. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, melt forward. Press your weight back, flip your toes, send your tailbone up. Downward facing dog. Let your heels release with gravity. Press your heart closer to your upper thighs. Inhale, come up onto the tiptoes. Exhale, bend the knees and hop or step to the front of your mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, circle sweep, lead with the heart. Exhale, cactus the arms, open the heart. Inhale, press. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands. Hop or step back to plank. You can move through the modification that I just showed you, or through full chaturanga, keeping the elbows tight to the body, hovering, flipping onto the tops of the feet, lifting the heart, and then flipping the toes and sending the tailbone back. Downward facing dog. One more time, lift onto the tiptoes, bend the knees deeply, and hop or step to the front of your mat. Inhale, circle sweep all the way up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, hop or step back to plank. Move through one vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. When you get to down dog, check your form. Inch the tailbone closer to the sky, and then allow those heels to relax, keeping a micro bend in your knees. Inhale, the left heel rises, keeping a square toe, and then open the toe and hip, and step forward into a low lunge. Your hands will move to the inside arch of the foot as you press your heart forward and keep a strong leg Breathe here. Finding strength and stretch at the same time. And then we're going to go ahead and release the top of that foot, heel toeing to the center. And inhale using your core strength to rise. Exhale, hands to the heart. Crescent lunge. We stay upright through the torso here. Breathing into this hip, squaring the hips. So making sure that that left hip is pressing back. The right hip is coming forward ever so slightly. Squeeze your glutes. Sit up tall. We can find more strength and stretch in the front of that hip by tilting the pelvis, squeezing the glutes, and sinking forward ever so slightly. Inhale, lift the hands, and then go ahead and open them to your sides. We're going to twist towards that open leg and open. Slowly untwist to an open position, lift the hands. If you'd like, you can take a little goddess pose, heart opener here. And then you can go ahead and release back down, flipping the back toe into the earth, lifting up and stepping back to downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Find stillness, adjust your down dog. Release the heels with gravity. Inhale, now the right heel lifts. Square toe, tension in the glute. And then point the toe, open the hip. And exhale, step it through between your hands. Find low lunge, heel toeing to the outside edge as the hands come to the inside arch. Press strong through the back heel so you find some openness in that leg. Stretch and strength. Release that shin, the top of the foot, and then heel toe back to center, hands to frame the foot. Inhale, we lift with the torso, using that strength, and exhale, hands come down to the heart as we remain lifted through the crown of the head, squaring the hips, so pulling the right hip back, left hip forward, finding that deep stretch for the front of the left hip. If it feels more stabilizing to take the back toe in, you can feel free. Whichever position feels right for you. Squeeze the glutes. Sit up tall. Breathe. Inhale, lift the hands. Exhale, open. We're going to take that left hand to the outside of that leg, opening up into a twist. Bring out the spine. And then using your core strength, come back to center, lift the hands, and if you wish, take a little mini back bend. And bow forward, hands to frame the foot, flip that back toe, lift up, and step back. Downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Find downward facing dog. stillness in this pose. And walk your hands towards your toes. Slowly roll all the way up. I'm going to have everyone face sideways towards the side of the room so we can move into a wide-legged pose here. So we're going to take the feet wide with the toes pointing forward and inhale to lift the hands. Exhale, we're going to slowly hinge forward, energy moving to the front of the room through our fingertips, and then take those hands, fingertips forward, right underneath of our pelvis, slowly taking ourselves into this fold so you're bending at the elbows. Don't worry about getting super low. You should feel this stretch through the inside and back of the legs. And if it's available to you, relax into it. Let the head hang. Release the belly. Relax. Come to place the left hand right underneath the nose, flat into the earth if you can, and then lift the right hand, opening into a twist. Trying to stack the shoulders. And then go ahead and release back to center. Right hand comes right underneath the nose. Lift your heart forward. And then go ahead and send that left arm up. Stack the shoulders. Look up. Ring out the spine. Go ahead and release. One last release in this fold. And then taking the hands to your hips. Slowly begin to lift the heart out in front of you to a tabletop. And then all the way up. Take your heels in, your toes out. Lift the hands up overhead. And as you exhale, take goddess arms as you press those knees out over your toes. Energy shooting through every fingertip. Tuck your tailbone underneath of you. Strong through the core. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, take the toes, heel toe all the way in. You can face the front of your mat one more time. Lifting the hands all the way up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, taking the hands out and finding downward facing dog at your own pace. Inhale, left toe reaches, open hip position, single leg dog. And then exhale, take that knee forward between the hands, settling down into pigeon. The top of the back foot releases into the mat. The hips square, making sure you're finding that challenge, that stretch on the side of the hip flexor by squaring the hips, lifting the torso, making sure that that foot is as close as it can get to 90 degrees. You can flex the foot. Breathe. If it feels good to collapse, your forearms down, your head, work your way into whatever version of the pose feels good. Keeping that intention that it's the outside of the hip that we're stretching today. Slowly take the hands underneath the shoulders, lifting the torso up, flipping the back toe into the earth. Step back into downward facing dog, pedal out the feet. Find stillness. Right toe reaches, single leg dog, and then go ahead and find pigeon. Once again, squaring the hips into the earth, lifting through the torso, finding that stretch on the outside of the hip. Adjust the foot as you need to. And as you feel ready, if it feels good, bow into the pose. Slowly begin to lift the torso. Flipping the left toes into the earth, step back to downward facing dog, pedal out the feet for just a moment. Maybe you want to twist the hips side to side. And then go ahead and release your shins. Lift the torso. Roll onto one hip. And then come to lay on your backs. I invite you to take your knees into your chest. Take a little gentle roll side to side. Massage your low back. And then go ahead and take your feet flat, knees up, and this time swaying the knees side to side. Just a couple centimeters or so. Resting in the middle every time. This helps relax the hips, reset the nervous system. It's almost like you're drawing a picture with your tailbone as you rock side to side. Taking the arms out flat at your sides, palms facing down. Go ahead and let your knees drop over to the left as you take your gaze to the right. Very lazy. Relaxed. And then shift the knees to center, head to center, and move to the other side. Your gaze is left, your knees are right. Letting go of any tension in your belly and your back. Inviting that tension release into the front of the hips. Draw your knees to center, your gaze to center. And then release your heels to the wide edges of your mat and pull your palms in towards your sides, palms facing up towards the sky. This is final Shavasana. Enjoy the stillness and these moments of reflection as you gaze back at your intention. Take one last deep inhale in through your nose. And exhale. Release any remaining tension from the body. In a way that feels good, begin to wake up. Maybe you take some stretches in opposite directions. Maybe you gently tap the body. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. At whatever pace and in whatever way that feels good to you. Conclude your practice as we gear up to say goodbye. Thank you for joining me for class today. As always, it's my honor to serve as your instructor. I hope you met your intention on the mat today. We'll be back on Thursday with another flow. Appreciate you. Namaste.